Learn English through story. The Pandemic Pet, written by Katarina Loback. I got Marshall in the summer of 2021. It was during the pandemic when I spent many hours at home. I worked from home, I saw friends over Zoom, and the most exciting weekly activity was visiting the nearby park. It was that summer that I saw a big brown owl perched on a tree at the park. That was very memorable because I had never seen an owl in Toronto before. Pandemic life was starting to get lonely, and I decided that I wanted to get a cat. I checked many different sources for about 2 weeks until I saw a picture of baby Marshall. He looked more like a mouse than a cat, with giant gray ears and a wispy little tail. He was a gray tuxedo cat, a rare coloring, as tuxedo cats are usually black and white. I looked into his big green eyes and immediately fell in love with him. I knew in my heart that he was going to be my cat. Marshall was posted on a website where people sell to one another. The posting was done 1 minute ago. Wow, they just posted this, I thought. I messaged Marshall's owner right away and began the long conversation of trying to bring him home. I messaged the owner for 2 days before they agreed to sell him. They changed their mind several times and I cried. However, I was persistent and offered more money than the listing price. This swayed the owner. I realized that a lot of people were at home and there was a high demand for kittens. I recently read an article that said about 3 million pets joined Canadian homes during the pandemic. Wow, looks like I wasn't the only one looking for company. When I brought Marshall home, he smelled very strongly of pet perfume. To be honest, I had never seen pet perfume before. I thought this was strange to perfume a baby cat. If you have a cat, you know they have a sensitive sense of smell. I personally use unscented products and I don't use perfume, so for me, his smell was nauseatingly sweet. He was so tiny that I gave him a bath in a pot. I had to bathe him for several days to get rid of the smell. At last, my baby Marshall was fresh and clean. Since I introduced him to water at a very young age, he loves baths and playing with water. The many long days of working from home and rarely leaving, Marshall and I became inseparable. He enjoyed sleeping beside my keyboard and curling up on the mouse pad. He loved sitting inside shoes and playing with shoelaces. He was crazy for this special cat milk. He slept every night curled up in the small space between my shoulder, neck, and head. Now, I have had Marshall for 1.5 years. How the time flies. He is my best friend, my soulmate cat, and my pandemic pet.